Hi, my name's Darryl McCormick from Fremantle Coburn Hockey Club, and the only podcast I listen to is the MagPod.
It's a very warm welcome to the return of the MagPod. We've been away for a couple of weeks. That's largely because you, the listener, aren't listening enough, and we thought, stuff you. We're not going to put it out every week. There's probably a few time pressures on there as well for us. But my name is Matt Allen. I am your co-host alongside
Tim Botella. Hello, Matt. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well, young man. Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks, so it's we haven't had a chance to get around the table and around the microphones. But we have this evening another Thursday night here at the Nest, and what a delight we have coming up for you in just a short while in the show.
Yeah, we do. We've got one of the good men around the club. Obviously, hit a milestone game this weekend and sat down and had a chat with us. He's coming in to have a chat with us.
But no, it's okay. We can.
All right,
we've already had the chat. We're back for That's all right. That's all good. So we do intend to get to lots of your audio and results and ladder roundups and all that sort of stuff, and we're probably going to take care mainly of that next week. But we do have a couple of bits of audio that we need to slip in, just because people have actually bothered to send the audio in for us. It's been a bit slow. Yeah,
it has.
But this is your podcast, Magpie, so do send stuff in for us. So Manny Minasali's been very good.
Thanks, Manny.
I haven't listened to either of the things that he sent through. One was 29th of April, so that was from a game 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Well, let's see what Manny's got for us.
Over 53's report from the weekend, Matt. We had a really good game, as per usual, but unfortunately went down 1-0 to the travelling team Harleys. We put in a huge effort, just couldn't bring home the bickies, and a special celebration to John Spike Lee, celebrating his 350th Fremantle Coburn Club game. Well done, Spike.
Yes, and well done, Spike. My former podcast partner, and you'll see him around the club a lot at the moment, John, because he's helping out with doing some ground control and behind the bar and doing 350.
Well
pretty
done.
good.
That is.
It's pretty
Great
good.
Effort.
If only he played his whole hockey career in the black and white, but he's got YMCA, Applecross, Melville connections, and he went to Wesley as well.
I didn't know any of this. It might have changed my opinion a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Well, good. Congratulations.
So that was 2 Saturdays ago for the 53s, and I received this on Monday.
53's weekend gone, 4th of May. Lovely 1-0 win over Whitfords. We managed to get Spike over the line with a win to repay him for his 350th that we lost last week. So well done to all the boys.
Well, thank you, Manny. That's good. And of course, John Lee and the Hookers are playing Friday night at Billabong Brewery. So get along there if you've heard this podcast in time. Now, they played Whitfords at the weekend. I played Whitfords as well for the 50s ones.
Who'd you play?
Whitfords, the Hockey WA CEO. I didn't say anything unkind. I could have put a dig in and gone, that's for your terrible fixturing. That's for your terrible media coverage. But I wouldn't do any of that because we're a positive podcast. Yes. I'm a positive player on the field. 3-0 win, though, was very nice.
Very nice. I watched the last half of that.
Yeah, well, we defended resolutely towards the end.
Yes.
But once you got the goals the points on the board, then that's all you need to do.
And the rendition after, belted it out.
It wasn't a bad song.
It was.
And I made sure a couple of the boys that didn't know it, I'm talking to you, Gurdeep and Carwan, we positioned them on the right side of the changing room so they could look up at the words on the wall. There was still some dispute about at Fremantle at the Magpies, and we've had this with some videos of your girls recently as well at the Magpies in the second verse.
I know. Yes, it's been brought up, and Matt Bird was obviously, he goes, it's a bit hard for him because obviously he's played a lot and he's just used to at Fremantle.
Yeah.
So get out of the dirty habit. We're at the Magpies. That's our club song. We've got to make sure that we sing it proud. But yeah, good result for you boys.
Got a great result. Then a week before, we had a 3-3 draw against Manville here.
Oh.
We were 3-2 up with 40 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, no.
I do have a recording from Sue Cleary here.
Oh.
I think it's this one here. Let me just see what we got.
So you've been watching the men's 50s ones. Don't go away, stay there. Men's 50s ones somehow throw a game away and draw 3-3 with Manville at the death. What were your thoughts on the contest?
Oh, most unlucky. Most unlucky that the final clearance out of defence didn't quite go where it was meant to. Such a shame. You had the better of the game, really.
Thanks, Sue. I think that's all that needs to be said.
Kegs was jumping in the background there. That was reference to Blaz. He came down from Singers to come and play that game. Obviously didn't trust my clearance and thought he'd come back and throw an overhead. Chose not to throw an overhead. Chose just to smash it straight to their centre forward. Anyway, these things happen in hockey. He was walking around going, well, you should be lucky that I was here because I've earned a draw for the side.
Well,
he did.
Would have been nice if he earned to win. How many goals did he put away?
I don't know if he scored any.
Well, he always claims that he does.
Yeah, he did. He did a nice little flick over the top of the bar.
Yeah, not bad.
Missed the keeper and the goal.
But that's actually some good from Sue. It's a lot different advice what I used to get when I came off the field when she used to watch me
I don't
play.
think she's drinking so much anymore.
Well, good. I love Sue. Yeah. But how are you? Where are you boys sitting on the ladder? What's your go there?
We are a point below Whitford's in 6th, I think, at the moment.
Ooh.
So it was a good win, and we play Mods OGM on the grass at Very Hard this weekend. Along, I think our men's 40s and our 50s 2s are all there. 12:30, 2 o'clock, 3:30.
Oh.
So that'll be good to get all the boys together there. And just quickly, 2 games gone for my 7-8 girls.
Oh.
2-0 loss in the first round against Uni, a 0-0 draw against Vic Park the weekend just gone, and we're looking forward to taking on Hale on the hallowed grass at Stevens this Saturday morning.
Ooh, a grass.
So, yeah, a bit of a rare one. So I've actually had the girls out training on the grass here at Lakelands tonight, and I'm just saying, just smash it.
Yeah.
No, don't run with it. Just hit it. You get the ball, hit it. Get the ball, hit it. Get the ball, hit it.
Chip and
I don't care where it goes.
Yep.
As long as it's that way.
And chase it to the corner, it stops.
Yes, that's right.
Old school hockey. Old school hockey.
Now, you followed us on the turf in a playing capacity at the weekend.
I did. I got the SOS call from June. Didn't put the pads on this time. So we let the young fellow Augie stay in net. Obviously, congratulations to him, actually, just quietly. Train on for the state squad.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't ask me what
We've got some
age
other state
we
news
do
as well. Xavier and Troy in
whatever age group.
That age group.
And then it was Bailey and
Isabel.
I think it was. We should have written this down, shouldn't we? But we didn't. But congratulations to those. But yeah, so Augie jumped in the net, and we're playing the bottom placed Augie OMG or whatever the hell it is. Mods. Got up 4-2.
Very nice.
Jailed a couple. Yeah.
You got a couple?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Devo's already been sliding into my DMs.
Mm-hmm.
Had to tell him no.
Into your OGMs?
Yeah. It was an OMG performance, that's what it was.
So, look, we're talking about ourselves here, but we do want to hear your results. Next show, we will look at our ladder positions and the results over the past few rounds. If you, as a team manager or a team member, have got some little nuggets of information, who's scoring goals, who's missing goals, who's letting them through the legs, all of that sort of stuff, we want to hear it here on the MagPod.
Yeah. So just exactly like what Connie's done for the midweek Masters. We won't go through it all, but she's sent through all the results, what's happening next week, and we'll just quickly touch on it.
Go for it.
Ray Blunt have won their last 2 games in a row, defeating Melville last week 2-1. Yeah. and Kobe Rowcliffe and Claire Mortimer.
She's not old enough to be playing
well, apparently
Ray Blunt.
they are. They break the rules there. I don't know. They've got the younger ones in there, but it's good.
It's over 35s, isn't it? So you can have some 33-year-olds in there, I think. But Kobe's not even that old. She's got to be 25 or something.
I don't know. It's always retast, isn't it? But they've obviously got their crap together, and then so they've been good, and obviously just while we're touching on it, my women at the moment, Matt, we're sitting pretty up top.
Nice 4-0 win against Whitford here on Saturday, Arvo.
Yes, it was good, and it was good to get one back on them after we lost in the quarter or semi-final last year.
Yeah.
And then our twos sitting second on the ladder at the moment.
Yeah.
And
I think threes are fourth.
Threes are currently fourth on the ladder. Yeah, correct. So the top three...
Best start for a long time for top three women's teams.
Yeah, huge. And obviously we're pushing big on the women's side, trying to get the promotion. So... we're on track. Obviously this week.
Just the one little glitch, the 3-2 loss to Reds on Anzac Day.
And that hurts because they lost to Southern River, who we beat 10-1
right
the week before. So, I, as I said to the girls tonight at Tran, and any team can beat anyone in our grade at the moment. So just because we're first doesn't mean that it's just going to happen for us. So we have to come prepared. But a lot's going on around the club that's looking positive.
Just on that Anzac Day, great day here. The men's won 3-2 winners and taking the David Bale Trophy. Nathan Sinner on debut winning the Kevin Martin Ferriston Best.
What a player.
Trophy. Not a bad way to make your debut for the club.
Yeah, not a bad way, especially when we were sitting up there in the crowd, and I think there was a few people going, "Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? All right, he's not bad, is he?" Yeah, they changed very quickly once we worked out who he was. But he fitted in well. It looked like he'd been playing a part of that side for a while. So nice little addition there. And I don't know how we got him. Obviously not through Devo's contacts, through the draft or something. So it was nice to finally get him.
Let's not talk about drafts and player qualifications, because otherwise we want to stay positive, don't we?
We do. We do. But Anzac Day, how many people were here?
It was busy.
Did we have a counter on the door or something?
I can give you the count on the bar.
Oh, well, yeah.
Very good. And here's the thing, we then followed with a men's ones game on a Tuesday night against Wasps.
Yeah.
And our take on bar and canteen was about 8% of what we did on Anzac Day. Yeah.
Wow.
And this is the difference, and the Hockey WA need to recognise clubs that have their own turf facility, particularly those clubs that have to pay for the replacement of their own turf, because a lot of them don't, and I'm saying there's only 3 or 4 of us that actually do. Hockey WA need to prioritise supporting our clubs when we're on fixturing, so we can do things at the times that are best for all of our club members and can maximise revenue, but not just that, maximise the experience and the whole social nature of the event that goes on. Tuesday night games, jeez.
Yeah, well, it was annoying actually it was nice for me. I mean, I didn't have to come here on my birthday, so it was all good.
Oh, very
good. Thank you.
So qualifying for 40s now?
Nah, I'm too old. I've gone past that. Right. Past that.
Well, look, this is lovely, but we want to keep this fairly brief. We've done 14 minutes on the preamble. We've got a great interview about to come up now with Dazza with regard to his 450th, legend of the club.
Yep.
So let's take a little break, and we'll come back with a chat with Daz.
Beautiful.
And welcome back to MagPod. It's special interview time, Bots, and I believe that you've done a fair bit of prep here.
Oh, I wouldn't say a fair bit, but there is something that's gone into it. I had to write it down so I wouldn't lie when I made it up. So here we go. Anyway, I think it would be hard-pressed to find a more elite performer during our 91-year history.
Have you actually scripted it?
Yes, I have.
Just some highlights, mate. Make it feel natural. It's not. You're not reading a book.
Well, don't worry.
All right, no. I'm sure we've all got time for it. It's all right. We'll sit back. No. It's fine.
It's only 4 lines. It's all right.
It's not that whole page.
No.
Oh, that's all right. Sorry.
Results,
no. That's fine. No, he has done some prep.
Lucky we can cut it out.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah. This is what happens all the
And
time.
there's a voice in the background there. We'll find out who that is in a minute.
All right, we'll get to it. I think it would be hard-pressed to find a more elite performer during our 91-year history as a club. A chameleon at the bar around his mates and a tornado to the opposition on the pitch. We have been lucky enough to witness a grub turn into one of the finest and greatest players in our club history. If you are unaware this weekend and don't follow on any of our social media, it's Darryl McCormick's 450th first grade game for our beautiful club this Saturday. A massive 109 games clear of second place, Jimmy McPherson. And just to put it into perspective, our new men's twos coach and ones player, Reece Anglin, has a measly 375 for Curtin. Still a massive gap of nearly 3 seasons. And if my stats are correct, Matty Allen, 449 more than you. Daz is a stalwart on a Tuesday and Thursday night at the club, and that's to much of the delight to Kate. Not only is he eager to lend a helping hand to others, he is also heavily involved in the juniors. The best way to describe Daz as a hockey player is he's the best teammate to have and one of the hardest and worst opposition players to play against. You always walk 10 feet taller, or in my situation, 50 kilos heavier when you have him on your side. And you know damn well he will leave nothing left on the ground apart from his skin from his knees, elbows and knuckles. You probably need to lift them up, Daz.
And short corner hitters.
Yeah, and a short corner hitters. A home milestone game would have been nice, but due to your poor discipline throughout your years and some injuries, this was not happening. Now, what do you deserve, Darryl? You deserve nothing more than to turn Hale Hockey Turf black and white this Saturday, 5:30, as the boys look to get you a win and turn their season around. So it would be nice to see everyone down there, Hale Hockey Turf, to celebrate our next guest, Darryl McCormick, celebrating his 450th game. So, Darryl, congratulations first and foremost. And, any comments on it to start off with?
And welcome to MagPod.
Oh, and welcome to MagPod. Well, we've already had that chat, so sorry.
Yeah, we weren't recording at the time, though. And he was just chirping in the background.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. It's obviously a privilege to finally get a gig on the MagPod.
Finally.
If things go well and we actually start to turn up for our games after this coming weekend, maybe we can convert this to the flag pod. Maybe it's got a bit of a nice ring to it, but obviously a lot of water under the bridge to get that to come to fruition. So no, thanks for having us on board, and what can I say? It's I'm looking forward to just hopefully getting the win on the weekend.
So we were debating before when you first put in an appearance in the black and white. What's the story? Why did you come down from Darwin in the first place?
Well, I mean, obviously had aspirations to go further, play for Australia at some point in time. I mean, being in the Northern Territory, obviously a little bit limited with the quality of players and the competition up there, and the the Northern Territory Institute of Sport coach at the time was someone who many of our listeners may sort of recognise in Butch Worth, and he had some strong connections through the club, obviously, and he got in contact with Wayne Blazajek, Mr. Blazajek, who was obviously, as people well know, he's heavily involved in a lot of things, and he was the coach of the Premiership One side back in 2001 when we came back up into the Premier League, and he got in contact and basically said, look, if you want to go further with your hockey, you need to get to Perth. And basically Butch said, look, if you want to go any further, it's not going to happen up here. So jumped on the plane, Buzz got us down to Perth, and here we are today.
Here we are today, 449 games later.
Yeah.
So what was it like coming into the club as, what were you, 20, 21?
Yeah, I was 20 years old at the time. It was good. It was good. It was...
Who was in the mix? Who was coaching? I was there, Blas was coaching, but who were you playing alongside?
So obviously we just come up from the 1Bs, and this was our first year back in the Premier League. Whatever it was,
Classic League,
Classic League back in the day. So Blas was the coach, and obviously Clayboy was the manager way back when. And I think at the time Timmy Price was the captain, the 1B side, and there was the Mark Nichols and all those sort of
Greenacre Boys,
and Matty Gortons and goodness, stretching the friendship now. Benny
Ross
Green.
Brown.
Yeah, Roscoe was around. Shouldn't forget the brother-in-law. So it was they were like, who's this bloke from NT?
Yeah.
And they still think that. But yeah, the club was really welcoming. It was, the first sort of session down at the club. It was.
Oh, we're talking training session or drinking session?
Yeah, well, bit A, bit of B. I think it was. I think I worked out pretty quickly that that I'd come to the right place. That I didn't shy away from a beverage or two back home, and the weather's conducive to having a beer or two in the Northern Territory, so I sort of had a bit of a taste for it. So they definitely welcomed me with open arms and showed us the sights and sounds of Fremantle very quickly, and it was, I basically was welcomed with open arms, and I felt really, really sort of, I guess I was in the right spot. So
as a player, what were your attributes as a youngster? What was good about your game then? And it may well be very different now. There's a lot of learnings that have gone on in between.
Yeah, there's been a big change from where I started my hockey. I think as a junior, I started out as a striker, which would be very surprising for a lot of people. And I think over the years, I sort of went backwards down the pitch. I did play majority of my, I guess, sort of formative years in the midfield and sort of inside forward and centre half and the like. But as I sort of got older, sort of moved down the back and sort of forged a bit of a playing sort of relationship with Big Wasker at the back there, and Creaky and those boys sort of running through the half back line. So
I coached against Creaky at the weekend. 7-8 girls. He was coaching Vic Park, and I had a Freo girls.
Did you get a win?
What happened? Draw 0-0.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Hockey
right.
was the winner on the day.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah.
But nice to see, just like you, he's still involved, and he's involved at junior hockey, and this is something great that we love about you at the club, is that you're still there at the top level, but you're there at the grassroots, and you're coaching the grads kids, and you helped out with my girls the other week. You came over and had a little chat. Maybe you should do this, maybe do that. And it's really valuable, and we love you for it.
I think that's the thing that, I guess, growing up as a kid. So growing up I was born in Canberra. I moved to the Northern Territory when I was 8. Played footy as a kid, and then sort of picked up hockey. I was about 10, I think, when I started playing. And my old man heavily involved with the football from day dot, and volunteering and being part of the sort of the fabric of the club in whatever capacity has always been a thing that I guess I've sort of grown up with. As a little grommet, running around through the footy sheds, and Dad helping out running water and that sort of stuff. I guess it's probably something that I've seen, observed through his football background and through his sort of local community back home in country New South Wales, that without volunteering, shit doesn't get done.
Yeah.
So it's probably something that I've just sort of learned from
just being around it.
You sort of recognise that without people like yourself and Botsy and those people who just do stuff, without that, things just don't get done, and the sporting communities fall down. So
what was the hook into hockey for you?
What was hook into hockey?
What was the hook into hockey for you? It's a pun,
you got me there. It's I randomly I didn't know what hockey was when I moved to Darwin, and there was a guy that literally within 2 weeks of myself moving to Darwin, from Canberra, another kid moved from Canberra, and we just became mates at school, and I tried a game of cricket, and it, like, apologies here, Bossy, but what a stupid sport to play when.
Yeah. Well, he thinks that after his performances this season as well.
I think they spent all their petrol tickets in the semi, was it? Yeah. And you fluffed it in the grand final. Yeah, that's right. But standing out in the hot sun in Darwin for hours on end, watching some bloke flog the ball around and you're standing there picking your nose, like, it really did not do it for me. And this other kid from Canberra was like, "Oh, why don't you try hockey?" And the first couple of times I tried it, I thought, "What is this bloody sport?" Like, I'm holding a shepherd's crook and chasing this hard bloody thing around. I didn't know how to hold the stick properly, and I got a little bit sort of frustrated with it. And I think I gave it up for that year. So that was when I was like eight-ish. And then when I turned 9, I think the following year, I'll have another crack, and haven't looked back. It's so I still played footy and hockey, and then eventually just gave up the footy and it was all about hockey. So it was just it was just a really, I don't know, it was just an enjoyable sport from the get go. I think it had a good community spirit up there as well. We had really good facilities, and it just stuck with it.
And shout out to your home club. Who were you playing for?
Yeah, East Darwin Hockey Club back home. They're called East Darwin East Storm now. I think they're called the Storm, Easties or East Storm. I should know. I follow them on socials, but they're East Darwin Hockey Club is who I grew up with. So if you sort of Stephen Holt, Shaggy Holt used to play with him for a number of years, and Matty Regan and guys like that. They're not a bad club. I'm just trying to convince blokes to come down here. A few of the Hockman boys, shout out to you boys if you listen to this. Get out of Darwin, come down here if you want. Don't go to Reds. But it's only small, and that's the difficult thing. It's only a small sort of hockey community up there. So
well, it was great last year. We had the Stingers come down and play, and we've got that bit of a relationship there with them, which is really nice. And I spotted today that from our post on socials that Hockey NT reposted the 450 game stuff, which is lovely, isn't it?
Great. I signed up the other week. Platinum member for NT Hockey, just as like a non-financial member, just to sort of, I guess, try and support and promote them getting back into the National League.
Yeah.
There's obviously a few kids that are quite talented up there, but they just don't have the player base to sort of, I guess, develop.
Yeah, competition's hard for them.
So it's hard to, and it's a big move. Like when I moved down here, I was 20, so it wasn't like I was still a kid, but I was, and probably people would probably attest to this. I was probably a little bit wet behind the ears, and a bit of a dickhead, and nothing's really changed. But I was, naive to move away from home. It was a big thing, and to really have absolutely nothing organised other than a little bit of work through Clayboy's old employer, and which was a little bit of labouring here and there. Really had no plans other than just to try and play my best hockey, and so I didn't really. But I wasn't very well organised to say.
So you talked about aspirations of getting ahead in the game by moving down here. Did everything you want to happen? What your next steps, 20, 21, 22, what happened in your hockey career?
It was probably, well, I wouldn't say too late, but I probably should have moved a number of years earlier. I was sort of in the National Junior Development Squad, and so I went to a few camps over the years from Darwin, and it was probably a little bit too late to come down here. But then when I got here, as I said, I slipped right into the Freo club culture, and probably focused on things that I probably shouldn't have been focused on.
So
like it
hindered your progression.
as opposed to being a little bit more professional from a sporting aspect. So I think I found out many years later after I'd played a couple of sort of a few more years of National League and the like that the coach at the time was approached by some Aussie selectors, and he was pretty forthright and said he's basically a pisshead. Like he doesn't, he's a little bit ill-disciplined in that regard. So unless we can sort of get him on the straight and narrow. And in hindsight, I was like, yeah, he's probably right. Wasn't probably right. He was right. But it would have been good to have a little bit of a heads up to go, if you pull your head in, you might get a look in. But hey, you make your bed, you lie.
Yeah, but it's an interesting one because you take that forward 20 years' time and you're still there performing at the top level, first name on the team sheet. It would be interesting to be in your position to reflect on that and go, well, stuff you, I'm still here and I'm still doing it, and I'm doing it better than anybody else. Yeah,
I mean, I look at all the guys that have gone before, and I see, you see the guys that I grew up playing against, and I've got stories of Jamie Dwyer on one of our hockey camps in Canberra, so I'm not going to call him out, but you see these guys that funny little anecdotes along the way that they managed to square their stuff away, and they went on and played for Australia, and I go, yeah, I potentially may have been able to get there, I may not have, but knowing within myself that I can still, at certain times, have been able to hold my own against those guys over the years, and that's enough in and of itself.
All right, so for younger players and older players alike, how do you do it? How do you maintain the fitness? Is it diet? Is it desire? Is it work rate? How can you still turn out in the Premier grade in the strongest competition in Australia and do yourself justice and represent the club with such aplomb week after week? How do you do it? How at your age do you do it? Because it's insane.
I couldn't honestly, in all honesty, I couldn't really put a finger on any one thing. But I guess there's no bones about it. I've probably been blessed with luck as well as genetics coupled. I mean, apart from the shoulder, that's been the only real significant injury that sort of has wiped me out throughout my career. Rolled ankles and all your typical sort of niggles and whatnot. But I mean, having never done a hamstring in like however many years, it's probably almost unheard of. It's I mean, I like to keep myself fit, and I've always been. I shouldn't say always, but I can't say I've always participated in pre-seasons all the time and things like that. But I mean, for my first sort of, I guess probably 7-8 years, I was playing National League, so around that sort of time for the pre-season anyway. So, but
you weren't running though. You running 5Ks a night? Or
I don't. I mean, going back a few years, I probably would have been. Like I'd probably a few times a week. And when I was with the Fireys, it sort of, I mean, it's not like they do much. So there's plenty of time to keep yourself fit out there as a Fiery. So I had that. So I was sort of had that opportunity to sort of keep fit out at the workplace, which is not everyone has that luxury. But yeah, I think I've just been pretty lucky is probably the one thing. But I do try and keep myself relatively fit. And I mean, I've literally been the same weight since I was 18, 19 years old. So
there's no serum. There's no you're not tiger's penis being ground up and put into tea or anything like that at all.
Anything like that is no. I'll keep this PG.
We need to. It's on YouTube for kids.
Yeah. So I was so no. There is no silver bullet. But yeah, and I guess probably the other thing is that, and you could almost probably put it down to it as well, is that I just love competing. So, in order from my perspective to be able to compete at the highest level, you've got to be conditioned for it, and you've got to be able to, keep up with those young kids to be able to perform at your best. You can't really let yourself go if you want to. Because I hate losing. I don't think anyone that's watching me. I just hate losing. I hate making mistakes. I hate giving it up. So that's probably the thing that drives me, I suppose, is just want to do the best for the team, and whatever I can do to do it, then I'll do it. So yeah, and that's So I want success for the club. I want success for the team, and whatever I need to do to be part of that cog, I'll do it.
Well, I know you embody the spirit of the club in that respect, and we've also heard anecdotal evidence from people who've played against you, who've then come and played for us, about how you've engaged with them on field. Maybe for the first time, maybe there's a story of Simon Orchard playing for Peel or something like that. Can you tell us what you said in his ear on the first game that you played against?
Look, I feel bad because the fact that he could.
Are you a nasty man?
No. I don't think I am. I mean, I'm not averse to playing mind games. Don't get me wrong, and I'll use whatever sort of thing in my armoury to sort of try and get someone offside. And I mean, of course, these guys, if they play for Australia, well, then they play for Australia for a reason. So whatever I can do to get in their head to give me some sort of edge, then within the rules, within the spirit, I'll obviously use that. And if saying something like, "Hey, where's the Australian team at the moment? Oh, sorry, you're not in it." Things like that might sort of get them offside, or it could have the opposite.
Exactly. Yes.
So if you're listening out there, Mr. Orchard, I do apologise. It's you've obviously carried that with you for a long time.
I think he needs to let it go. But speaking of Mr. Orchard, obviously throughout your 551 years at the club, you played with a fair few players. Obviously myself, Stevie Jarrell, just to name a few. But
that was two.
Yeah, I said a few. Yeah. Obviously you've been privileged. I've played with people from overseas, international players, local grubs, everything in between. Is there any particular players or players that you would, that stick out in your mind that you've carried along through the journey?
Yeah, I there's quite a few, and I guess I think when I looked at that article the other day that was written, and to see the number of players that I've played with, had the privilege to play with.
Was it 180? No.
There was something crazy like 169, 149, something like that. Which, it just it was scary to think we've had that many players come through. But to be able to sort of pick names out would be, I guess, probably a bit of an injustice to the rest of them. The number of people that I've played with, but there's definitely ones that have left an indelible mark on myself, and it's hard to go past the guys involved in that 2006 Premiership side. I'll never forget that day, and I'll never forget that season. And but the guys that I sort of keep in close contact with up to this very day, people like Simon Munt. You talk about international players. He's a fantastic player that came across from across the ditch, and helped us get the Premiership win, and the Terry Creeks and the Craig Davies Waskers, and people like that, and obviously Leon Mann, who obviously doesn't play for us anymore, but it was a big part of the Premiership side, and the guys that we still sort of keep in contact with, the Frenchies, and Shano and Pezza, and the Charlie Cliftons, who some of these guys who've gone, and we've convinced to sort of come back on a ad hoc basis through the Masters. So having guys like that, it's really good to see that they played, they've gone, but then sort of to come back,
I still feel the connection.
Yeah, feel that connection.
Yeah.
So there's so many guys that I could call out, but it's hard to go past those guys that I I still keep in contact, even though they're not at the club anymore. You know, they come down and they sort of send us messages and things like that. And like, when are you going to retire? Stuff like that. When are you going to play in the lower grades? But yeah, it's like so many fond memories and so many players that have come and gone over the years. You know, you can't go past. You know, Schnickers. You know, never want to warm up with him because you're liable to wear one around your hip, or you know. But blokes like that are still around and part of the club. You know, Timmy Price, who was here and left not long after, a couple of seasons.
20
went to the UK.
20 years away.
Yeah, and then he's returned and come back. You know,
and brought some players along with him.
He's got his young fellas running
That's
around.
What it's about, isn't it?
And that is exactly it. That's what it's about. So it's you know, it's gone full circle. You know, it's good to see, especially like people like Pricey. So, you know, I to call out individuals, yeah, as I said, it'd be a bit of a injustice to, but there are those guys.
All right. So, who's your favourite coach of all time that's coached you?
Ooh.
If you can just give us one individual.
One individual, yeah, Tim Teven. Or Dim Teven.
So, 06, Premiership captain. Was it Olympians medal that year? When did you get the Olympians medal?
Was it 2007?
7. So the year in between our 2 grand finals in that period there.
I think. Now you're testing my friendship. Is it on the wall over there? Is it out there? No, you won it. Yeah, no, I can't remember that stuff. I've got Alzheimer's.
I remember I made a little picture up anyway,
yeah,
and it was in the trophy cabinet. Yeah. So probably. I think Pete Freer was still coaching then.
I think it was 2007 and then 2008. We might have to look. You might have to take that on notice.
Oh, you're going to have a look. Well, Botsy's going to go and have a look. No, it doesn't have Olympians medal up there. No.
Oh, is that at home, is it? Oh, it's the Premiership one up there, is it? No, you sure?
Yeah.
It's not it? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no.
Yeah. I'll have to phone it, Frank.
Anyway, good chat.
Yeah, no, that was a good question. Yep, thanks for that. You could have given me forewarning. I did.
He told you this afternoon you were coming in to have a chat.
Yeah, but I didn't know what he's going to
Have you got any more stats there that you want to bring up, Botsy? That's it, you burnt your stats early.
I had to write it up, and I was already sick enough writing this, so I didn't want to look at any more stats to do with him.
Yeah. Now, I also hear a rumour. You did play on grass for 40s once.
Yeah, I think we had a loss.
Yeah. You weren't very good.
Yeah, no, it was...
There was a lot of expectation of you going out there.
I must admit, the prep going into the match was... as I said, I pride myself on being prepared, and that definitely wasn't the case for the grass. And I was bitterly disappointed with my efforts, to be honest. There was a couple of missed drags, and
we had conversation. It must have been 5 or 6 years ago about potentially playing. I think Vic Park was the team potentially playing a Premier Grade game on the grass at Stevens or at Fletcher. And how do you think the current crop of players that we've got in our ones group would go on a decent grass track?
Oh, look, if you've seen us play bucket ball out there on the grass, then just imagine with a hockey stick that it would be. But in saying that, I mean, up until this year we were reigning premiers in singers on the grass, so I can't speak for everybody. So maybe we wouldn't go so badly, but I know that my performances on the grass have been abysmal in both Singapore and but Singapore there's probably
different reasons.
Underlying reasons for that. But there was no excuses for the what was it over 50s? What was it?
No, you played the 40.
The
40s game. Yeah.
Well, the only reason I said over 50s is because I'm actually not that far off being able to play in the over 50s.
Yeah, you're nearly there. You'll be a young one coming in a couple of years' time. All right, well, so you talk about the hockey future with things. You're still here fighting away at the top level. Where do you see the next couple of years going for you?
So I'm struggling now. So, I mean, I hurt my knee playing the Masters last year, and
playing for
Tassie.
That's right. He's represented a lot of states.
Which is got me a bit. I'll keep it PG here. But I guess that's probably sort of another, good example of the connections we maintain with people from all around the place. mean, you think of the Tassie connection we've got currently, and which I guess we've always had some semblance of a Tasmanian sort of connection for a number of years. So to play with the guys that I used to play with back, big Khan Riley, the big dog, and Schmut, Ian Smooth, so
Paddy Ward, was he a Tassie boy?
Yeah, he played for us for a few years. Yeah. Actually, I got a bone to pick with you, Paddy. You called me out in my short corner running, but anyways, we'll talk about that offline. But he's protecting his fellow flickers, so
right, okay.
But it's all right. I'll get him later. So all those boys, to be able to play with them was good. Yeah, it was great to catch up with those lads, and so maintaining those connections is important because you just never know. These people could come back to the club at any time, and when they do, they're welcomed with open arms.
Now you got Aussie over 40s selection 2 years ago, a year ago.
No,
but
that was
due to go to Nottingham for it in the year.
Yeah, it was the COVID. That was the year COVID really took hold. So we went down to Nobby's wedding in March, and then we got back to Perth, and that's when it started to kick off. And I was supposed to go to Nottingham in August.
Was it right? Yeah.
And obviously that got knocked on the head. It was postponed for the 2 years or whatever it was, and from the team that was selected to the team that eventually went were chalk and cheese after the blokes pulled out and that sort of stuff. And at the time, Kate's father was going through some treatment and for skin cancer and that sort of stuff. I thought I just didn't want to be over there whilst that was ongoing, and a lot of the shine had gone off it over that 2 years, and all the players that I used to play with in National League, years gone by and played against, they'd all pulled out. So it was just a mishmash of people. No, like I think Phil Marshall ended up going, but like apart from him, there was guys that I hadn't really sort of played with before, or never played with before. So I just
the connections weren't quite there.
No. And to be honest, like that ship had sailed for me. Like representing Australia would have been great, but when I was back in the prime would have been ideal. But in Masters, it didn't really sort of tickle my fancy, and I'd rather sort of focus on going on trips. Like we're going on a trip in the end of this year for Bailey to go play in the state, school girls, which is that's the focus. Next steps. Go and spend some money. Spend quality time watching the kids now rather than, they've been coming down for the last, I was going to say 20 years, but they've been dragged down to hockey for the last, 11 years for Bailey and 8 years for Mitch. So it's sort of, I think it's time to pass the baton on. So it's
and it's the beautiful thing, and it's the same with my kids and Billy with Bots as well, is that I see Mitchie. Hey Mitchie, how you going? Little rub on the head, high five. He tells me that he wants to play on the pool table. I said, you can't, mate, because you're going to rip it. He said, it doesn't matter, I can pay for it. I've got the money to pay for it. But it's about the kids having the conversations with the adults and feeling comfortable with it, and just being part of the big black and white melting pot that we've got.
And as I said, going back to the sort of my growing up as a kid, I think I was 5 or 6, and this is probably not good parenting, but I was just literally let free range through the footy sheds, and like everyone knew who I was because I was just everywhere, and you just had a village looking out for you as a kid, and I see that here. People come here, and everyone looks out for everyone, and everyone's like, I've got no qualms if someone needs to, give Mitchie a clip up.
Careful.
If he's not doing the right thing, but you got people looking out for the kids, and everyone's sort of has the best interests at heart for the kids. So I see that same as how I grew up as at the footy club. You've got all these people looking out for the kids, and it's a great environment where they're comfortable as well. And they're safe, and they enjoy it. So they love coming down to the club because they know they're going to get food, Spoiled rotten little turds, but because you know we all know that Kate's meanie and doesn't give him any treats at home, and so you know.
Yeah.
Trying to get some treats, at home, Daz. So, Daz, obviously you mentioned when you came over, it was like the boys had just gotten back into ones, and we've stayed there the entire time, if I'm right. Only played in a couple of relegation goes. So, obviously you've seen the transition of the club. Now we're into our new home. Do you want to talk about just a little bit of journey of how you've seen the club come and then come into the new joint, and you know what sort of impact that's had on the club from your point of view?
Yeah, and where you think we're going?
Yeah, so I think moving from a place where we never had a club, so being in East Darwin Hockey Club, we didn't have a club. There was literally no real place to go, and
so was it Marara Hockey Stadium?
Marara Hockey Centre was the place where everyone played their hockey. So to go from there and then move down to here, so obviously Stephen Street, it was great. It was fantastic that we had it. There was a home. There was a base, and I mean it was obviously difficult having to go to PHS to do your turf training, and then come back and feel connected with the club. So for a while there we I guess we sacrificed the turf session to come and train at the club, on the grass, do running and do whatever. We did stick skill training, as you probably remember, you know, which obviously not ideal, but I think it was important to keep that connection with the club, because people were like, who are these ones people? You never see them. So, you know, to start off with, we'd go back every sort of 6 weeks or so and try and get back to the club just to have dinner or whatever. And that was obviously, you know, a bit of a pain. Some people live different places, so they didn't do it regularly. To now, where like this year in particular, like some of the days it's been buzzing. You know, there's been really it's been awesome, the atmosphere. You know, there's people everywhere. And this is even before the junior training started. So now with the junior training, you know, we've got the dinners on the Thursdays, and it's like it's actually there's a really good vibe around the place. So to see where we've come from, Stephen Street, which we still obviously maintain, but having everyone coming back here and hanging around and having a drink, it's a soft drink or beer or whatever, having something to eat and just talking and shooting the proverbial with whomever is around. You know? It's not just ones and it's not just twos. It's all members of the club. So I think,
and that was, you know, one of our big driving forces was bringing the club back together.
Absolutely.
But you do it. You speak to people across the grades, and once you know them, and you've done a shift behind the bar with them, or turned a snag, or you know whatever it might be.
Yeah, it's really good.
We've got an interruption here. Sorry, Sean, come on in. Sorry, how did just pass the microphone to Sean? How did 60s go at the weekend, Sean?
They went very well.
Did you
silver medal?
Are you off? Yeah, sure. No, just leave it. That's fine. Just shut the gate on your way out. Yeah, that's my dinner. You're a good man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Did you see how fluid he was on the microphone there?
That was definitely silver medal.
Liam,
that almost sounded
Liam
like
Bartlett's brother.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, so it's in the blood.
Doesn't like him apparently, but
anyway,
that's another story.
The club, I think it's the old adage, you build it and they will come. I think that's I think it's readily apparent. The environment. I mean, the Anzac Day match the other day was, fantastic. Just the atmosphere. My cousin who's just come over from Canberra has 2 young kids. They've signed up for Hook into Hockey, and for grads, and they were there, and my auntie, who I don't know what she'd say had the privilege, but watched me over the years play as a kid and whatnot. She's like, "Oh, that was the best hockey I've ever watched." You know? Obviously, she'd watched Northern Territory get towed up by New South Wales, probably 15-0 over the years. So at least the team I played in had a win this time. So, but there, so like just the atmosphere was, it was awesome. So if we can just continue to build that, that's all I could hope for, is to just keep getting more kids down and just build the club from there. It's my kids enjoy it. We enjoy coming down here. So hopefully others do too.
Yeah, good stuff. Now, before we let you go, Raiders this weekend for your 450th. What do you think of your chances on that one? And furthermore, rest of the season, what are the hopes for the squad?
Yeah, Beebalicious might be back in the mix. The Birdman as well. He managed to train today. For those obviously not in the know, he had the red bib on, which is the non-contact bib. So those returning from injury are not allowed to go near them. So
I thought it was the other way around. He can't go near anybody else. That's not the red bib. No, that's fine.
That's right. So Devo had it for a while there, but so Birdman was out there training tonight. So I think he's hoping to have limited minutes on the weekend. And whether Beebs comes in straight away or goes into the twos first.
Declan Spencer.
Yep. Sorry, Declan Spencer. I'm not sure, but hopefully we can get the win. It'd be great to get another win on the board. It's been frustrating because we played some really, really good hockey and we just haven't been able to get the reward for effort. So I think last week to lose 2-0 when they had 3 or 4 shots and we had about 4,800.
Well, I did look at the Hockey WA highlights package online. There was a minute and 59 of a video, and there was about 12 short corners from us, and only 1 goal from YM shown on the highlights package. So I'm not quite sure what was happening there. Was their other goal really bad? It wasn't worth a highlight.
It was. It wasn't the greatest of goals, and I'm sort of surprised that.
No, you're not surprised.
Sorry.
We're keeping it positive, though, Botsy.
Right.
We keep it positive.
So, and for the rest of the year, look, I think we get the ball rolling, have a win on the weekend. It's with some good guys coming back in. It's almost there.
Yeah.
It's almost there, and I think we a few of the guys just need to get a couple of goals in the back of the net, and things will start to snowball and go the way we want them to go. So there's we're 16 rounds to go.
Yeah.
Still a long way to go. Obviously, you don't want to leave it too late, as we're quite good at. But I think, as I think I've said before, that on paper, the squad that we've got here is up there with the best squad that I've ever played with. When you think of, you've got people, Dylan Martin, just out of the Aussie squad, you've got Olympians, you've got guys that play in the development squad for Australia. Aaron and Gobby. You've got guys like Beebs who knows how to ball in the net. You've got, was in the Australian makeup in Matty Bird. You start throwing those names around, and it's like Benny Rennie as Aussie goalkeeper.
No relation to Ken Rennie, former
no relation
Hudson
whatsoever.
winner and life member. No.
So when you look at the team on paper, it's as good as any team out there on the pitch, and so there's no reason why we couldn't turn this into the flag pot.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping for, and it's what we're looking forward to, Gaz. And we've got nothing but praise for you approaching this 450th game. It's not the end. It's not like it's the last game of your career at the top end. There's a fair way to go yet.
Well, yeah. Well, fingers crossed. And I got to say, and I think I sort of touched on it before, but this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the support of the boss at home. For Kate to obviously look after the.
Let you out for training 3 nights a week.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, she did call it out in one of the socials comments. Apparently, that the training increased when attendance increased when the kids came along. So it obviously wouldn't be. Like the gastro excuses have fallen by the wayside, but no. So all jokes aside, it wouldn't without that support and ability to be able to get out and she probably doesn't want me in the house anyway, so it's actually a win-win for everybody here. Probably a loss for the lads. They're probably like, leave him at home, but yeah, no, without her and as I said, the kids, without being too detrimental to all the stuff that they're doing, to be able to get out of the house and play for so long wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Kate, the kids. So. And obviously the in-laws as well, having the kids at times. So shout out to them as well.
All right,
I'm sure Brownie's on the podcast.
Good stuff. All right, Dazza, good luck at the weekend. Good luck for the rest of your life. Probably another 10 years.
I was going to say
men's ones, and then you'll be ready to come and join the 50s ones, boys. Skip 40s altogether. Although you've done a fair bit of that over the past few years as well. Which is. Imagine that, you're lining up for Wasps or Wolves over 40s, and you're coming up against blokes that are still playing Premier grade hockey. Yeah, no thanks.
Well, I mean, they do their best to sort of bring you down a peg, and because of and you've probably seen it in whatever your grade is, the Divi 17s or whatever it is, but the quality of umpiring isn't there, so they do tend to miss quite a bit in the Masters.
So what? So you get away with even more?
Well, I think it's the flip side. I actually get cleaned up a lot more, and I actually pull up better in the ones games than I do in the Masters, because I think that they don't appreciate someone moving a little bit quicker than they should be.
All right, final word for you, Dazza. Who's your favourite umpire at the moment?
Oh dear. There's quite a few.
No, that's fine. We can end it there.
Really don't. I don't want to do a disjustice to all the great umpires out there, so I don't think I want to call just the one individual.
No. If you think they're all equally good, that's fine.
They're all fantastic in their own right. Yes. And look, and I'm sure there's a few that would love to see the Atlas hung up for good.
Have you got any left? Because you're in the habit of breaking them as well.
Yeah, well, I'm sort of actually shout out to Atlas. They're a fantastic stick and Jinder at Hockey International, but we're struggling at the moment. He hasn't got any sticks, so I really can't afford to. I misplaced one the other day, and I thought someone had flogged it, but I actually left it at the bar. But I don't know how it got there, but
I might have hidden it behind there.
It's quite possible, but I am getting
just to see the rage.
Fuzzy in.
Oh, it's good. It's good to see the rage.
I did actually start pointing fingers, so apologies for that. But no. Thanks for. Thanks to everyone for the support. I've gotten a lot of messages, a lot of people taking the piss, which is to be expected. Thanks for everyone for the messages far and wide, and let's just hope we get a win. That's all I want.
That's all we want as well, Daz. Thank you very much. And welcome back to MagPod. What a delight that was, catching up with Dazza.
Yeah, it is. I think that's, I could hardly get the microphone out of his hand.
Well, you literally couldn't. We are going to improve. The club are going to pay for a couple of more headset mics because this is a bit hard sort of passing the golden mic around.
It is, yeah. I do still feel a bit sick of all the nice things that I had to say about him, but yeah, it is what it is. But what an amazing player for the club. And
but an amazing contributor because, I needed somebody to lock up on Tuesday night. I sent a message to Diva. He said, Dazza will help me out. I spoke to Dazza on his way in. He's here almost as much as I am.
Yeah.
But like I'd said to him in the chat, the fact that he's willing to come over and share a bit of knowledge with the 7-8 girls and he's out there with the grads and previously the Hook into Hockey kids. And obviously, that sort of stuff sort of follows the journey of your kids through.
Yeah.
But it's not like I've done that and now I'm moving on to this. He's available and approachable and just what an ambassador for hockey and for
our club.
For our club. Yeah.
No, and I think it's only fair again to promote it, to get down there and supporting him and supporting the boys in their quest for that victory for Dazza in his 450th. So.
Yeah, so they're up at Hale on Saturday, 5:30. 5:30.
5:30. It's a crap ground, but we're staying positive. It's going to be a good game of hockey. So they've got beer. So that's all that matters.
And a wide range of soft drinks and some limited food options.
Yeah, they've got some.
And terrible change rooms.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me
And
started.
the toilets. Oh. Anyway, no, but we're going to stay positive. Yeah,
well, we're staying positive. How good was it to see our boys on the live stream? You saw it?
Which one?
Oh, was it the other week?
Anzac Day and Wasps.
Well, yeah. Was. No, but I mean, even the Hockey WA one.
Oh, you got to see it, did you?
No, I didn't actually.
No, I didn't. I couldn't sign in.
No, I just thought maybe you did.
No, wouldn't let me sign in. Absolute waste of time.
Why? How good was
why would you try and hide our premium Premier grade product behind a paywall or behind some kind of strange subscription system that you can't actually watch it when YouTube is available there, free, easy to put it out on there and easy to view.
Yep, but that's why we're ahead of the game here, Matty, and we've got the best in the business with Ash Morrison, which he did another beautiful job on a very windy Tuesday there.
Yeah, thank God the rain stayed away and we didn't have to bring the scaffold a little bit further in. But, we appreciate Ashley Morrison Media and Angus on the camera, and, we hope that you're enjoying it as Magpies. If you can't be here to support our top grade boys, then at least you can sit back in the comfort of your own home, wherever you are in the world, and on this very YouTube channel, at Fremantle Hockey Club, where you listen to this now.
Now, before we finish, man, Sunday, this weekend, Mother's Day.
It is.
Have you got anything?
Yes, I'm actually not playing hockey on Mother's Day for the first time in about 10 years.
There we go.
And I have zero intention of being here, so if you are here and you're playing, good luck. Because I ain't going to be here.
Phone's off. But to all our beautiful mums.
All the mums.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
All the people who aren't mums.
All the grandmums. All the grandmums.
Any sort of mum, dog mum, cat mum.
Auntie
plant
mums.
Mum. I don't know what other mums we've got. Yep. Any sort of mum, well done. You do an amazing effort for all of the people that you're mums to. So thank you very much. And enjoy your day on Sunday.
Yeah. Very nice. I think we should probably leave it there. But
I don't think I've got anything more to add. Yeah.
You going to go and see your mum on Sunday?
No, but she's over in Melbourne.
Oh, trying to get away from you?
Yeah.
Well, Dad's there as well?
Yeah. Well, that's the main reason why they're there. Send them away.
What are they there for?
I don't know. I can't bother dealing with them. No, they just hopped in their car and off they go. They're great nomads. They're here for like 4 months a year. Anyway.
It's nice. Well, the great thing is he can watch games of hockey. On our YouTube.
And he'll listen to this and he'll let me know. Yeah. Anyway, till next week.
I'm waiting for the real bots feedback.
We don't want it.
All right. Thank you for joining us on the MagPod, and we will see you next time. Hopefully, we're only about a week away. And keep sending in that audio because you will feature here on your pod, the MagPod.